ceasefire, I guess you'd call it, but we have a blockade that's so effective. That's why we did the ceasefire. We really did the ceasefire at the request of other nations. I wouldn't have really been in favor of it, but we did it as a favor to Pakistan, who are terrific people, the Field Marshal, the Prime Minister. But no, I mean, President Xi and I agree on many things. And we agree very much on trade, money trading. Our farmers are going to be taking in. I mean, our farmers are going to be very happy with the deal.
Is you think that he will put pressure, that he will try and get them to go?
He's going to put pressure because I don't need favors. I think he will. I think automatically he'd like to see it opened up. He gets about 40% of his energy or his oil from that, from the strait. We get none. We don't need it.
Mr. President, now for social, you said that President Xi has made a reference to the decline of the U.S. We didn't hear him say that. Maybe it was something he said at private to you. So what was it, first of all, that he said that prompted him?
He made a statement. It might not have been from him. It was somebody, but they talked about the decline. But he said today, and he said it very publicly, he said the U.S. was declining for the last 4 years. And he said what President Trump has done in the last 15, 16 months has been virtually a miracle. He said we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. He said it was a declining country. Under Joe Biden, he said we had a seriously declining country, which we did, with people pouring in from all over the world, from prisons and everything else. He said what President Trump has done has been a virtual miracle. It's the hottest country anywhere in the world, and it is.
On a different subject, on Cuba, there's reporting that Raul Castro could be indicted by the DOJ, I believe. What does that mean?
Well, I don't want to comment on that. I'll let DOJ comment on it. But they need help, as you know. And you talk about a declining country. They are really a nation or a country in decline. So we're going to see. We have a lot to talk about on Cuba, but not maybe for today.
Mr. President, did you agree with President Xi to extend that year-long truce on tariffs?
We didn't discuss tariffs. I mean, they're paying tariffs. They're paying substantial tariffs, but we didn't discuss. Before I came along, it was the opposite. We didn't discuss tariffs. It wasn't brought up.
Mr. President, you said in January to us that you were going to bring up the expansion of their nuclear program. Obviously, they've got 600 weapons now. By the Pentagon estimate, going to 1,500. Did that come up? Did you succeed in getting them into any form of arms control? Or remember we discussed
You're talking about China.
China.
We brought it up. The denuclearization. I talk about it all the time with Russia and with China. And it did come up. We did discuss that.
What did you conclude?
I got a very positive response since the beginning. We're going to be together 4 times potentially this year. We have the G20, which he wants to come to, which I'd like him to come to. It's going to be in Miami. It's going to be in Doral. And it's going to be, I think, very good. Much more important if he's there. And so you have the G20. We have one that he has, as you know, in November, right, in China. He's asked me to be there. I'm going to try to be there. And then we have another one on September, I guess, 26th or 24th, where he's coming into the White House.
I'm trying to understand what it is he committed to, if he committed anything.
Well, I don't want to say anybody committed, but we have a very good understanding.
So are you
the concept of denuclearization.
Denuclearization or just an extension
Well,
of
no, denuclearization.
In other words, building down.
And you bring Russia into it also. But the concept of that is something that would be very good.
The political prisoners in China. Did you bring up with President Xi any of the political prisoners in China? Are you going to be released? Any progress?
I think he's giving very serious consideration to the pastor. The pastor has said he's giving very serious consideration to that. I discussed it. It's a tougher one. I did bring it up. It's a tougher one. For him, it's a tougher one.
What did he say about it?
For him, it's a very... He told me, I don't want to mislead anybody. He said, Jimmy Lai is a tough one for him to do. He went through a lot. And right or wrong, they went through a lot. So he told me that would be a tough one. He said said he's going to strongly consider the best.
Sir, can I ask you two on technology? First, computer chips, advanced computer chips like the H200s that Jensen has. Did that come up at all with machine?
It didn't come up, but as you know, Jensen was there, so basically at NVIDIA. And he would be inclined, they have much higher level than the H200. But the H200 is good. China needs it. And so, yeah, it came up. They haven't bought it. We have a bunch, because they chose not to. They want to try and develop their own. But it did come up, and I think something could happen on that.
And then on artificial
They
intelligence.
have quite a bit higher level. But the H200 is good. It's a great chip.
And then on artificial intelligence, what is it that you want to get done? Did you bring up,
We did. We talked, we're leading by a lot, but they're second and they're very strong. And we talked about possibly working together for guardrails.
And what
He's
kind of guardrails?
the standard guardrails that we talk about all the time. AI is fantastic. So many things can happen in terms of health, medicine, operations, everything. Military, so many things can happen, but it's also got some drawbacks, and we're talking about, we probably will when I work together. We had a very good conversation about us.
So biological, nuclear, cyber, do you specifically discuss those risks?
We discussed, I would say, almost everything we could discuss except for the reduction of tariffs.
On Iran, Mr. President, just to be clear, I mean, what's next? Is the threat of the bombing starting again? How realistic is
I don't
that?
want to say that. I'd like to say on a certain hour, a certain day, the bombing is going to start. I don't want to say that. I can only say that Iran, I can say this with very, very strong conviction, Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Not going to happen. No chance.
What do you see of repeating the bombing? You did it for 38 days.
Well, we did.
And you did not get the political changes in Iran.
I had a total military victory. But the fake news, guys like you, write incorrectly. You're a fake guy. Guys like you write about it incorrectly. We had a total military victory. We knocked out their entire Navy. We knocked out their entire Air Force. We knocked out all of their anti-aircraft weaponry. We knocked out all of their radar. We knocked out all of their leaders to the one, and then we knocked out all of their leaders in the second division, and we knocked out numerous of their leaders in the third division. And they're very confused. We've had a total victory, except by people like you that don't write the truth. You should write. I actually think it's sort of treasonous what you write, but you and the New York Times and CNN, I would say, are the worst.
Another war.
Your editors tell you what to write, and you write it. You should be ashamed of it.
Another war.
I actually think it's treason. When you write like, they're doing well militarily and they have no Navy, no Air Force, no anti-anything. By the way, we knocked out 85% of their manufacturing missiles. We knocked out everything. We haven't knocked out other than one bridge, and we did because they misbehaved. We have bridges we can knock out. We can knock out their bridges and their electrical capacity within 2 days. We can knock out the whole thing. And then I read the New York Times and they act like they're doing well. And everybody does, and that's why your subscribers are way down. The Times subscribers are way down because of this thing.
Did you discuss
Way down, way down.
Did you discuss Ukraine at all with President Xi? And is there any movement on that?
We discussed, well, it's one that we'd like to see settled. Until last night, it was looking good, but they took a big hit last night. So, it's going to happen, but it's a shame. 25,000 people died last month.
Cuba, SECOM was asked yesterday about the strike on the girls' school with the president war.
Oh, it's under investigation. You're talking about the Iranians.
The case of investigation at the moment is civilian casualties.
We have a couple of things under investigation. But that is under investigation.
And you're able to keep the US missile,
You would
BBC, for the radio.
fake BBC. You're the ones that put AI in my mouth. The ones that gave me and had me say a statement that they now admit was not true. The ones that put terrible words in my mouth and then had to admit that it was fake. The ones that are being sued now for $5 journalists that don't know what to do with the BBC. They're another fake outfit. Yeah.
Deals in China. Did you get a deal on soybeans? You know the farmers.
And the farmers are going to be very happy. They're going to be buying billions of dollars of soybeans.
Well, you were talking about Britain. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister there, is in a lot of trouble. I know you asked about this as well.
Well, he's in trouble for two reasons: energy and immigration. He's very bad on energy. He should open up the North Sea. He's got a coal mine. And he should open up oil into the North Sea, and he doesn't. They have a tremendous value. You know, they buy their oil, a lot of it, from Norway. Norway gets it from the North Sea. Not as good an area as Scotland and the UK. So they're paying Norway a fortune for oil that they take out of the North Sea.
Do you think Starmer's going to survive as Prime Minister?
Tough thing, unless he can straighten out immigration where he's weak, and if he doesn't start drilling, stop with the windmills all over the place that are causing havoc. They're causing havoc. Most expensive form of energy. They kill the birds. They're unsightly. They're ruining the landscape. If he doesn't stop with the windmills, he's got to do energy. He's got to open up the North Sea. You know, he's got one of the greatest oil finds anywhere in the world, and he's not using it. I tell him that he's not using it. The oil companies call me every day. Please, please, we want to go to the North Sea. He doesn't allow it to happen. He quit. I don't say that. I think he's a nice man, actually, but I mean, I didn't like when he said, we're going to send ships as soon as you're finished with the war. Well, we're sort of finished militarily, pretty much. But we, you know, David, we finished probably 70-75%. We didn't finish every one of the things. We'll go back and finish them off. And by the way, and more than that,
You saw the reporting on a missile capability with launchers that have remained.
no, it's New York Times fake news. The missile launches are probably 80% gone. The New York Times says it's like we were hitting them like pinatas. The missile launches are largely gone. The manufacturing of missiles is about 80%, 80-85% gone. And we know where the rest of it is. So if we go in, we'll take that out very early. There are no intelligence reports. They weren't intelligence reports. They were New York Times fake news.
Sir, would you consider the sanctions on Chinese oil companies that buy Iranian oil?
Well, we talked about that, and I'm going to make a decision over the next few days. We did talk about it.
Do you think Xi felt stronger in his dealings with you than he did the last time that
Your relationship last time, until COVID came along, I blame them for that. I said it was Wuhan, and it was, I was right. And, look, that was a strain on everybody going. And, so, it affected our relationship at the time. But we always had a great relationship before that and after that. And now it's as strong as ever. I mean, I went over to where he lives, which is something that rarely happens to be there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's amazing. People have never seen it before. It's amazing, actually. We had lunch. We have a great understanding. It's a very positive thing now. These two nations getting along.
President on Taiwan, you say we're going to chamber the president of Taiwan, but the 1982 assurances that President Reagan gave said the United States would not consult with China on arms sales to Taiwan. So it sounds to me like you have consulted.
One thing 1982 is a long way.
It was.
That's a big far distance.
You were dispensed with that.
No, I didn't say anything about it, but certainly wrote that up. He talked about that. What am I going to do? I don't know what to talk about. There's an agreement that was signed in 1982. No, we discussed arms sales
Now, let's get the request.
We discussed Taiwan. The whole thing with the arms sales was in great detail, actually. And I'll be making decisions. But, I think the last thing we need right now is war. That's 9,500 miles away. I think that's the last thing we need. We're doing very well.
Would the US defend Taiwan if it came to
I
it?
don't want to say that. I'm not going to say that. There's only one person that knows that. You know who it is? Me. I'm the only person. That question was asked to me today by President Xi. He said, I don't talk about those.
He does today.
He asked me if he would send troops. He asked me if I defend them. I said, I don't talk about that.
Can you tell me that?
I don't talk spying. I said, well, we do it too. Look, now I'm talking about spying. The question was asked me yesterday, I guess, what about the fact that China's spying in the United States? I said, well, one of those things is we spy like hell on them too. So,
What about the fact that China is putting in the U.S. infrastructure code that they can use if we ever decide to come to the
well,
U.S.?
you don't know that. I mean, I'd like to see it, but it's very possible that they do. And we're doing things to them. I told them, we do. That's up to you that you don't know about it. You're doing things to us that we probably do know about. But we do plenty. It's a double-edged sword.
So again, on President Xi, a couple of years ago when President Biden met him in San Francisco, he was asked if he thought President Xi was a dictator. Do you think President Xi is a dictator?
No, I think that President Biden was an incompetent president. He gave us the Iran nuclear deal, which allowed Iran to have a nuclear weapon within a matter of years from the time they said, I terminated it. If I didn't terminate that, Iran would have a nuclear weapon and they would have used it within probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago. If I didn't go in with the B-2 bombers 9 months ago, Iran would have a nuclear weapon and nobody would be able to talk to them. By the way, they would have used it already.
Do you think President Xi is a dictator?
I don't think about it. He's the ruler, he's the president of China. I don't think about it. You deal with what you have. I respect him. He's very smart. He loves his country. I respect him. Whether he's a dictator, that's for you to figure out.
You said you didn't talk about tariffs, but did you talk about fentanyl at all?
Yeah, talk about fentanyl. As you know, I put a tariff on because of fentanyl, and they discussed that. But I put a penalty. It's a penalty. A very lot of undertaking. Because I prefer not taking it, and I prefer that we don't. But we did talk about it. Well, you know, the fentanyl is down, way down from where it was, and it could be because of the tariff penalty.
Sir, domestic issue, where are you on the Texas Senate race?
Well, I'll make this decision. I know them both very well. I like them both a lot. And, you know, my record of endorsements is extraordinary. You look at what happened with Indiana. And out of all those races, the one was, there were 3 Trump people in the race. If they had won, he would have won in a landslide. But I took out all of these candidates, long-time candidates with big leads against people that never ran before. And the people that never ran before won virtually all the races. And as you know, 2 nights ago I won every single endorsement. A week ago before that I won every single endorsement. It's never been a record of endorsements like this, which is a great honor for us to understand. No, MAGA is a movement the likes of which our country has never seen before.
It's got 9 endorsers, Texas.
I don't want to say that. I'm looking at it first, so I like them both. I mean, I'll tell you what I do think. I think the Democrats have a weird candidate.
ट्रंप की जानिब से गुफ्तगू की जा रही थी और एक बार फिर से उन्होंने कहा कि पाकिस्तान के वज़ीर आज़म और फील्ड मार्शल अजीम इंसान हैं।
नेशन के इमरजेंसी सेंटर्स कायम करें, ख्वाब को हकीकत में बदलते हुए बलूचिस्तान पाकिस्तान का सबसे बड़ा सूबा, एक ऐसी सरजमीन जहां 49% आबादी 14 साल से कम उम्र बच्चों पर मुश्तमिल है, मगर जहां 5 साल से कम उम्र बच्चों की आबाद की शरह 53,000 है।